主持人说话就不用加了，就那个收就好了。如果嘉宾你觉得比较重要的嘉宾讲话，可以提前把这个加到他领夹上。
可以，他一般都是上台再讲。
对，你看要不要加？
可以。重点是阿芬他那个叫什么？我等一下他们要现场直播的话，要这个要让他们用这个麦，然后加在身上也是。
哦，你加喺身上，佢同 Ben Chen 都係。
對，他們現場講。
他有一個在收了已經。
啊，對。
你可不可以I tell you。
主持人不用了，主持人站在前台。
我在前台。
然後那裡有嘉賓可以加一個。
因為是這樣的，主持人講話其實已經收進去了。那如果說嘉賓的聲音希望更清晰，就幫他加這個。如果說不加也 OK，就這個位不能在哪裡啊？就隨便加胸前就好。你可不可以給他們加？可以啊，你大概是哪個流程要加？只有兩個，就是Ben and Beldo， 只有兩個煙腸說。這個分開收和這個哈，分開收 OK。Ben Chen，佢現場收音咧要加一個俾你做直播 ，OK 嗎？我大概加。佢但係你要揸咪嘅，但係會加一個俾你。你看加哪裡？謝。方便的話我就加這裡了。他加就會收音。好。等下我們過去告訴Ben Chen。When you have your mic, we're going to add this on you for live. Okay, so don't worry, not now. Okay. Try it. Yes. Try. She will help you to put it on before you speak.
Okay, excellent. Yeah.
But you still have your mic on.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
他们说海外的好像，海外的是不是不流畅啊？
海外的不流畅。
对呀，你这个
海外是哪里啊？
香港啊，像其他国家的。让他加入他视频会议。我现在进去了，怎么停掉了？他们说他们直播好几个海外的。
他们就录了个demo吗？录下来了吗？
我先加进来。
各位贵宾，还有5分钟到10分钟，我们正式开始啊。那这里呢，很多都是我邀请的朋友，有一些不一定能够给我们上台，但是我希望我的朋友也成为大家的好朋友，大家说好不好？就是今天大家帮忙找过来，谢谢大家帮忙找过来，来了这么好的一个国际性的会议，我们会场大约是100多号贵宾。但是在全球直播大约是有10几万的80万，因为我们在我前面这个伙伴商，他是一个model，他是非常的成功的，就年轻的一位国际金融学者跟实战的企业家，他都是学术还有实战，他是来自斯洛伐克，在北京隔离了1个月。约过来， 所以是非常难得。所以刚刚现在各位贵宾呢，如果希望可以跟我们教授一起合照的话，可以排队啊，不收费啊，按照我们就这个我的介绍啊，大家可以好不好？请教授啊，Take some photo。首先会我来拿这个会长，我们的副会长来上台先合照。其实在中间拍更好看，我觉得。在中间拍更好看，大气一点。
中间，
在中间拍 ，stay in the middle。It's okay, stay in the middle. It's more front. Otherwise, the face will look back. 啊，因为轻车的拍照啊，我们很多对，我把名字你们都上台给我们教授合照啊，这个团队也可以啊。上台拍照的可以站合照啊。贵宾的一腿，我其他人的朋友然后呢，而且我们的贵宾可以交易大把机会跟教授合照，我们的嘉宾先来你中间是谁呢？你中间原来的嘉宾，快来讲。对，我哋嘅會長。好，副會長，請我們呢上台合照。來，你說你這個可以上台的，不是？
我以為9點半，我知道。
要不然你以為9點，你幫個忙，我10點。人家約到很早，我上10點。我們有專門攝影師來旁邊。那拍完等待會長完了以後，我們3個可以抓出來。
美女先坐下。
坐下。安全吧。看我这里啊，1、2、3，
两个赞。
1、2、3。
来，主会长首页美我们一起来吧，来收水，对应我们一起来，我的团队一起来。因为我们教授还有我们陈一起来，一起来，这个学员对不对？来一起来还有吴大哥教授，还有社团一起合照，跟我们教授，还有我们的校姐，还有教授一起来，我们一起来，就我们时间讨论一下，还有谁是我热情的，还有来得及打招呼的This is all I guess I invite， 你可以的好，我这里。OK， 来，向前，好，陈教授，这几个朋友是我的朋友，边疆你都係我邀請嚟嘅話，一齊，好。
來，所有人這裡，兩個站都點了上來，來，小葉，兩個美女坐下。来，都点个赞，看镜头，看镜头，靠近一点，美女，看不到你。来，队友。OK。
离步，后身，好。可以。快點，hello，快點。还有哪一位希望跟我们的教授合照的，请上台。我们的洪文董事长，请坐，请前面请坐。来收水，来跟我们教授，拿着这个机会谁愿意的就可以了，自由。
有这里，C 位
看这里，
哎，等一下，给我找点香港的那个，我下个月香港的那个啥，大哥。小范围，我的小孩子也1000人有什么用？
他是每天几百人，1000吧。
以前那个想法一样。
我有那个小孩子 here, very well, well organized. Thank you so much. 光伟的，光伟。哦。因为做酒的，做衣服的。你把一个瓷做砖擦也可以啊。其实东莞那个我们那儿也是这个市场，关键也做衣服的。
但你不要在这讲，
收一点就行。
就这里就安静。说了吧。哦，請阿輝哥，輝哥識咗。網絡應該沒有問題。
各位嘉宾，我们的大会还有5分钟就开始，请大家把手机调到静音或者关机。如果需要喝水的话，我们有水，大家可以举手，我们工作人员拿水给你喝。还有我们的今天的大会的介绍，大家也可以拿来参考一下。谢谢。
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat. We're going to start in 5 minutes. Please help me to turn your mobile into silent mode. And in 5 minutes, we're going on live stream to the world. 看他们导演，现在告诉他现在的，你做完就上去。唔緊要，你上去嘅時候。你站喺嗰度
他一个月跟着我几百人记不清谁是谁的。
可以轉落。
小李啊，放这个不要放这个。这个不用。这个，刚才这个不用。
各位来宾、各位嘉宾，我们代表荷兰格兰披治金融科技集团，欢迎大家参加万维数码中欧供应链绿色金融科技论坛今天的开幕典礼。今天的活动上下共有大约10几20万全球观看，所以希望大家也欢迎大家一起共同参与今天的盛会，谢谢。
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, on behalf of Grand Prix Holding BV, we welcome all of you to our opening ceremony of Marvel Digital Sino-Europe Supply Chain, Green Finance and Technology Forum. We are now in Orient Region Suncheon Hotel, and we are also on live to the world, and welcome everyone who just joined us online. Hi everyone in the world.
欢迎大家。大家好，我是汪文田，这位是我们的美女司仪蔡 Mabel 女士。
I'm Mabel Choi, and this is Mr. William Wong, and we will be your MC for today.
今天论坛是由荷兰格兰披治金融科技集团举办。荷兰格兰披治金融集团创办于2020年，总部设于荷兰首都阿姆斯特丹，分部设于斯洛伐克，并在香港、马来西亚设立区块链实验室。成立之初就筹建首个金融科技技术，并且提供数码金融及去中心化的金融服务，并以创新的数码金融技术向各个中小企业提供传统银行所不能提供的服务。集团的联营公司 Axon Neuroscience 阿姆斯特丹证券上市法，致力于协助各中小企业在欧洲上市融资，并专注于 提供跨境资本以及新的上市机会。
Our main organizer for today's forum is Brandpeace Holding BV. Brandpeace Holding was founded in 2020 with headquarters located in Amsterdam, capital of Netherlands. The branch office is located in Slovakia and set up blockchain labs in Hong Kong and Malaysia. We built the first financial innovation technology impact investment financial platform CNRE and focus on development and investment in digital finance and decentralized financing. This technology will provide SME like all of you with more than a traditional banking service. Our associate enterprise of the group, Amsterdam Trade Board, is committed to help SME to go public in Europe and focus on providing cross-border new distinct opportunities in capital market. And I'm also so proud to introduce to you that Brandpeace Holding BV will obtain an EU license to become a European digital bank in 2022. It will also apply for a major bank license to enter.
今天的论坛算数首次，欧洲和亚洲的金融及银行专家、科创专家都在这里与中国迅速的发展，希望与我们经济能够多更加的结合。跨境资本市场上市有什么好的优势呢？原本今天论坛是在为期2天的由讯通展览公司主办的2021年工业博览会，在宝安国际金融中心举办，并且由我们格兰披治金融科技集团举办。但是在防疫操控之下，2021年工业博览会需要顺延到下个月的27号到30号才可以和大家见面。
Today's forum is the first of its kind in China, where the experts of finance, bank, and technology in Europe and Asia meet the fast-growing business owners like all of you in China. Originally, today's forum is part of a 2-day forum held in the 2021 DNP Industrial Expo, located in the International Convention Center, Bao'an. 2021 DNP main organizer is Paper and Communication Exhibition Services. Due to the epidemic control, the Industrial Expo is rescheduled to take place next month, December 27 to 30th. And our full exhibition and forum will be there in the same place, International Convention Center, Bao'an. We would love to see you there.
我们的展览会原定的展览商包括万维数码集团、曼哈顿投资控股、深圳有限公司、北斗艺术金融控股公司、香港科学园、数码港、国际金融集团、启悦道体有限公司、香港国际交易有限公司、量风云生态圈等。欧洲的参展商由美宝来介绍。请大家看看我们的12月份的册子，欢迎大家好好的看里面的内容，多了解我们的集团。
Yeah, make sure that you got a nice brochure at your hand right now for the December event. Our exhibition participants are originally included from Hong Kong, as mentioned by William. For example, the Marvel Digital Group, Manhattan Investment Holdings Shenzhen, Hong Kong Science Park, Cyberport, Bidu Art and Financial Holding Company Limited. And from Europe, we are so proud to have Sion Riff, AXS, Capital Markets, Emerald Group, New World Ventures, TAR Group, Amsterdam Trade Board, Collectibles, Marvion, Winter World, etc.
我们今天论坛得以成功的举办，非常感谢以下的合作机构：特许协办机构万维数码集团、香港国际交易中心。
Our forum today is made successful because of the following companies. Our franchise organizers include Hong Kong International Trading Center and Marvel Digital Group.
战略深度合作伙伴：曼哈顿投资集团、深圳有限公司、北京千亿千寻科技有限公司。
Our strategic in-depth partners include Manhattan Investment Holdings Shenzhen and Beijing Tianyi Technology Company Limited.
云端商务集资机构：北京千亿千寻科技有限公司、 线上会议即兴机构、量子云生态圈。
And our cloud business support organizations is Beijing Tianyi Chen Technology Company Limited. Our online conference executive agency is OWOIM Quantum Economy.
现在让我们以一段荷兰格兰披治金融科技集团的介绍来开始我们今天的活动，有请我们的视频。
Let us start our event with a video introducing Grand Prix Holding and our online company Axon Neuroscience ATP.
现在有请我们荷兰格兰披治金融科技集团联席创办人、首席战略官陈汉江教授上台给我们致欢迎词。有请陈汉江教授。
Let us first hear from our strategic officer.
陈教授是我们格兰披治集团的联席创办人、首席策略官，上海复旦大学首届校董，北京大学合作讲师，中山大学合作教授，沪港经济发展协会创会理事，国家认证古瓷见证及艺术高级经纪人，艺术品评估师，从商40余年，涉足经营及投资领域众多，包括康体事业、前沿医疗、文化创意、拍卖、艺术品金融等等。陈教授具备丰富的投资及营销经验，对新兴领域具有敏锐的嗅觉，致力于创新型经营经商，具备丰富的社会政治经济资源和领袖才能。
Let us first hear from our strategic officer of Grand Prix Holding on stage. Professor Ben Chen is also the co-founder of Grand Prix Holding BV, director of Shanghai Fujian University, visiting lecturer Beijing University, visiting professor of Sun Yat-sen University, founder director of Shanghai Hong Kong Economic Development Association. He is internationally certified Asian President Authentication Appraiser, Art Asset Value Appraiser, and Senior Art Broker. He has more than 40 years in business experiences and has been involved in many investment fields. He has a keen sense of emerging fields, who is committed to innovative comprehensive business and has a very strong social, political, and economic resources and leadership skills. And let's put your hands together for welcome our Professor Ben Chen.
欢迎我们的
插咪去咗邊度啊？唔見咗嘅。
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear distinct and
我哋幾時數？
honorable guests. On behalf of Grand Prix Holding BV, I welcome and thank you for taking the time out of the busy schedule today to participate in this event. The Marvel Digital Supply Chain Green Finance and Technology Forums and Exhibition in the TMT 2021 Greater Bay Area Industrial Expo was originally held today in the International Convention Center in Wuhan. But however, due to the academic heavens here, however, because the European team and I have been in the maintenance for a month, we do not want to delay anymore. So we decided to relocate today as scheduled.
各位嘉宾好，本人仅代表格兰披治金融科技集团欢迎大家，感谢大家百忙之中抽时间来光临今天的大会。TMT 2021大湾区工业博览会内的万维数码中欧供应链绿色金融科技论坛及展览分会本来是今天在国际会展中心举办，但是由于疫情的原因，本活动将延期到下个月27到30号举办。但因为我和我的欧洲团队已经来了大陆1个月了，不想再拖延，所以决定今天在这里举办。
Marvel Digital Sino-Euro Supply Chains and Green Finance Technology Forum is a financial sector built in the largest industrial expos in China. The purpose is to assist supply chain company in financing and leasing all over the world and help them to develop the European market. Introducing advanced European technology to the Chinese company. In this event, we are honored to invite many representative speakers in various fields in Europe, Hong Kong, Asian Pacific region, and give us some good concept and new technology in the professional field. And due to the time constraint, the 2-day forum meeting was arranged densely. But fortunately, our event was held online and offline simultaneously. So, even though fans who could not attend on site can be viewed on the topics online or afterward. Such professional opinions of various forum speakers and no business opportunity for interactions and cooperation with them can be arranged by us. So please contact our staff here or later we go into the internet to learn.
万维数码中欧供应链绿色金融科技论坛是基建于全中国最大的工业展览会内的金融板块，目的是协助供应链公司在全球各个的融资及上市，协助他们发展欧洲市场，并将欧洲先进的科技介绍给中国企业。本次活动我们很荣幸的邀约到欧洲、香港、亚太地区各地领域有代表性的演讲嘉宾，在他们的专业领域中给我们一些新的概念、新的知识。基于时间所限，2天的会议我们都是排得马马密密。可惜的是，我们本次的活动是线下同步进行，所以就算未能够到现场的朋友，都可以透过网上或者稍后重温各位出席嘉宾的专业意见，更可透过我们主办单位联络和他们进行互动和合作的洽谈。
This event was originally attended by companies from 6 countries and several Asian countries, but they were unable to attend due to the global epidemic. Because the activities held this year is in the internet, so we hope that it will also bring good attendance result next year after the epidemic is alleviated. We will invite those countries again to attend and participate next year. Of course, I hope that all of the guests will be supporting us next year again. Okay, thank you once again for coming, and I hope everybody can get new fans, get in touch with new field, learn more new technology, earn business opportunity in the participating. Obviously, this is the purpose of the event that we held. Okay, thank you again, and hoping everybody good health and good wealth. Thank you.
期待下个月我们一起好好的再聚，同时希望大家透过这次论坛能够认识更多的新朋友、新的金融技术、新的商机。谢谢大家。
Please be seated, Professor Ben Chen.
现在有请我们格兰披治金融科技集团我们的教授瓦拉鲁教授给我们致欢迎词，有请我们瓦拉鲁教授。但这之前，我们先放一段我们万维数码集团李应桥博士给我们的一个视频的分享。
Before we see Professor Beldo, we would like to let you know our franchise for organizer, Marvel Digital Group. And the founder and president of Marvel Digital Group is Dr. Herbert Lee, is also our event deputy executive chairman. Let's see the video first.
萬維數碼擁有多年嘅研發、製造同銷售超高精裸眼 3D 技術嘅經驗，至今咧已成為裸眼 3D 範疇嘅領導者。我哋今次獲獎嘅技術係先進自動立體影像渲染算法，同時咧呢個技術我哋亦獲得日內瓦創新法特別大獎。我哋咧係利用先進嘅光生技術，配合柱狀嘅透鏡設計，同埋內置圖像渲染嘅 ASIC 芯片，研發出各種多視點嘅裸眼 3D 產品，提供清晰嘅 3D 影像、廣闊嘅 3D 可視角度，以及咧可調校嘅 3D 可視距離，從而可令產品得到大眾接受。除此之外咧，我哋嘅專業嘅 3D 軟件可以提供多視點嘅 3D 視頻製作，並且咧支援即時圖片或者影片兩支轉 3D 功能。
萬維數碼提供全面嘅裸眼 3D 技術解決方案，包括 3D 內容創建同轉換、工業用 3D 拼接牆同顯示屏，以及消費者使用嘅移動裝置同其他消費品。萬維數碼高度重視知識產權保護工作，目前已獲得多項授權及註冊專利，其專利技術已應用於多個行業，包括教育、廣告、零售、醫療同娛樂等等。
萬維數碼係希望藉住咧發展全面裸眼 3D 技術解決方案，為各行各業咧作出貢獻。例如，我哋嘅系統可以節省 3D 內容製作時間，公司提供創新嘅生產技術，可令產品降低成本，同埋咧提升產品嘅良品率。公司嘅產品可以用於娛樂方面，讓大家感受到裸眼 3D 嘅技術帶來嘅視覺震撼。產品用於廣告行業，可更高效傳達品牌同埋產品嘅信息。喺教育行業，公司希望提供裸眼 3D 方案，能為學校提升教學水平同效果。我哋咧亦希望為大眾作出貢獻，令社會變得更美好。
希望大家透過視頻咧，可以多了解我哋萬維數碼集團嘅可以提供嘅服務同埋新嘅技術。而家有請我哋嘅教授 Professor Valado 上台給我們please 教授是我們格兰披斯金融科技集团创始人及执行主席，他在资产管理、银行、资本市场领域开创了金融创新。他有长达20年的行政职务中，致力于促进良好的公司管制标准以及积极的开拓，为所有的投资者提供更高效、公平及更好的金融服务。教授管理数以11亿的美元以及投资科创基金，也是一个成功的金融科技项目投资者。现在他也是阿姆斯特丹证券贸易管理委员会的董事，该委员会是欧洲私营公司的主要上市场所。他曾经为2级私募交易开发了有组织的市场，同时他在总部位于纽约的 Eminence Group 担任私人投资市场的顾问，专注于欧洲及亚洲的新兴经济体。教授在法国奥登西亚商业协会以及中国深圳大学作为客座教授，主要研究方向是金融风控、企业融资及金融机构的管理。他的团队是华尔街及欧洲资本市场的一个重要的角色。教授也是第一个进军中国大陆私募资金市场的先驱分子，在2007年到2018年，在中国多个省市金融领域协助众多国企及私企到欧洲融资上市。
Professor Valdo, I want to bring you a good news before I introduce you. We are online, so through the OWOIM, the quantum ecology, I want to let you know we are already over 245,000 audience online.
哇，非常好的一个消息！我们现在虽然在我们这个会议厅100号贵宾，但是在我们网上面云端计算已经同步在看我们今天的直播的，已经是24.5万人了，同步在看啊！所以等一下我们大合照的时候，大家精神好一点。要等于说，差不多全世界有30万人在看，会看到大家的脸红啊！谢谢。
Okay, Professor Valdo Kusuki is really having a big attraction for us. Advisory roles in private investment markets focus on emerging economies of Europe and Asia. Professor Valdo holds a faculty appointment at Audencia Business School in France and Songzhen University in China. Previously, he also is the visiting professor for Tsinghua University. His research focuses on financial intermediation, corporate finance, and financial institutions. He has addressed key research questions on access to financing for small and medium-sized enterprises, efficient market infrastructure, and materiality of sustainable impact finance. Professor Valdo is the first general pioneer to enter the private equity market in the mainland China. And from 2007 to 2018, he assisted many state-owned enterprises and private enterprises in financing listing in Europe and in the financial field of many provinces and cities in China. Let us stand up.
让我们请站起来，给我们的教授一个热情的掌声，跟感谢他老远从欧洲过来，给我们中欧的经济一起做出重大的贡献。
Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here. I really appreciate all.
请大家坐坐，请大家坐坐，谢谢。
Thank you so much. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers, partners, supporters, visitors, viewers, and everybody who is helping us here in China.
教授说非常的荣幸跟高兴来到中国，给大家分享他的经验，同时他也感谢我们各个的主办单位、协办单位、工作人员，还有各位的贵宾，繁忙中过来为这次的大会成功做出重大的贡献。
It is a great pleasure for me to be here, and I am very honored to be able to experience an unprecedented growth and development that we're seeing in the past decades in China. And I'm happy as a foreigner here to be able to be part of this, to contribute to this tremendous growth and opportunities.
教授非常的荣幸能够来到中国，见证中国过去10年的快速的成功的发展，同时他也很荣幸能够成为一个见证者和能够成为参与的一部分，能够继续的为中国的发展做出他的努力。
Moreover, I believe that we are still in early stages of developing even further opportunities in trade, investment, finance, and international exchanges between China and Europe.
同时，教授也认为现在还是有很大的发展空间，给我们中国的、欧洲的经济、贸易、金融等等，能够更多的融合、更共同的发展。
Today, I would like to share with you, from my perspective, from the perspective of Europe, what we believe is interesting, profitable, and value-creating opportunities for Chinese and European companies.
今天教授将会为我们分享从他的角度分析的中欧怎么处于一个更有趣、更有创意、更有利润的发展的一个合作的方向。
The good news is that we have very good proven track record of very successful cases where Chinese companies can succeed, enter European markets, and capture new opportunities. And the good news is that the opportunities are getting bigger, market expansion is getting more open, and therefore I'm excited to make new friends, to open new discussions, and talk about what we can explore as the new growth options.
教授同时也非常的感觉到有很高兴的跟大家分享过去他10年很多的成功的案例，让我们中国企业怎么可以成功的 更容易的融合到欧洲的市场，开拓欧洲的市场，共同的发展，同时的去让中欧的经济还有金融方面能够得到更大的发展，跟为两地的人民带来更多的好处。
Thank you again. It's a great pleasure, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you later. Thanks a lot.
非常高兴，非常感谢大家，一会儿跟大家好好的分享，谢谢。掌声一下，谢谢。让我们所有的反应都会同步在我们的国际视频里面，30万国际的友人一起看到。教授请留步，我们现在要颁发4个的荣誉证书给我们4位的今天我们的集团的核心。现在有请我们的陈教授、陈汉江教授执行副主席。
Professor Beldo, please stay and please present committee certificates to 4 of our December exhibition and forum committee members. The first one, let's have Professor Ben Chen, Deputy Executive Chairman.
首先给的是本人，作为执行主席及社会慈善公益委员长。先给我们的陈教授
Take your floor, please.
请大家掌声。我们这个团队，please move maybe just a little bit here. OK. 好，请留步。杨仁志本人。
跟着的是 Mr. Wang Yuantian, our Executive Vice Chairman and Head of the Social Charity Committee. 我们的社会支持执行公益委员会委员长。
Thank you. 第3位是郭海涛，区块链应用委员会委员长，有请。
And then Mr. Kwok Hao Tao is a Blockchain Association Chairman.
好，掌声。第4位是我们的美女诗颖蔡美宝。你是联络事务委员会委员长。
And then it's also me, Chan Mibon Weibo. I'm also the head of the liaison committee. 热烈祝贺！好，请我们教授留步。Please stay on the stage. 今天是我们论坛的开幕典礼，有请我们的主礼嘉宾逐一上台。现在是有请我们的陈教授，荷兰格兰披治金融科技集团联席创办人，99叮咚集团创始人阮红兰总裁。也感谢我们的袁总裁提供场地，很多老朋友都来到这里，感谢他给我们提供那么好的、美丽的、悠远的场地。有请我们创投中国基金主席陈晓女士，陈晓主席，我们的金融女神。有请我们深圳楚山联谊会会长、爱人地产董事长杨志明会长。还有本人，其他的还有没有主礼嘉宾？
有。
郭海涛先生，北京千亿千群科技有限公司创始人，有请郭董。
Right now it is our ribbon opening ceremony. And we are so pleased to have all our honorable guests on stage. This is the most exciting moment.
今天我们不是就是我们拿着拍个照片啊，然后我们稍稍的把它举一举，我们笑得开心一点，面对镜头，好不好？好。
可以了，别松了，拉直，对，来，所有人都是天窗，来，都看这里，来，这里，来，所有都有。
好，我们笑容灿烂一点。我们下面的观众，我们的贵宾，掌声不断，好不好？
Our best applause. Great beginning.
然后我们一起，各位的我们主礼嘉宾，右手挥起来，右手举起来，挥手，跟我们广大的靠近一点，继续右手举起来，挥手，笑容灿烂，让我们全世界的几十万企业家还有在场的贵宾们祝福一下。
We have over 245,000 online audiences watching from the world. Welcome everyone and stay tuned for our event, please.
好，请我们各位主礼嘉宾陪坐，我们跟大家一起来个大合照，好不好？我们就请我们坐前第一排。好了，我们有请我们的摄影师，方便的话把机器放在台上面。各位摄影师，老黑唔该，然后大家呢，前头的4排我们坐好，没事。后面的那几排贵宾，后面的就可以稍稍的站起来，欢迎站坐前面主会长你坐过来，坐我前面这里，主会长不要跑，过来坐。
We are going to have a group photo for
好，请我们的摄影师站过来，对，在台上面拍下去。这样子就一个集体照，邀请我们后面的请我们山水兄，我们后面几排的我们一起站起来好不好？后面的3排4排的站起来，后面的对，这才看到大家，对，好，要我协调一下才看到大家，否则的话等一下看不清楚。然后等一下我们说因为拍的时候大家把口罩可以拿开一下现在先不拿预备拿才拿，我们要配合我们的政府的防疫工作。
后面的来把这3个位置都填满。
对，钟导演指挥一下。来，主会长你进来一起大合照哦，来一起大合照。
后面的人往这边坐。
来，老兄一起坐，我们的杨总来坐。前面几排位置，前面几个位置全部坐嘛。
那边也坐，后面的最后2排站，剩下的都坐。最后2排站，前面的不用站。我再来2位小姑娘好吗？谢谢。
这个，
再来一个。然后看一下
这个是你坐老兄，我坐这个，这个留给我，你坐这个位置留给我。好，你坐。没事，小叶你让个位置给表哥吧。
尽量他这边那边我看到了。
没事。好，谢谢，大家配合一下，没事
然后你这边，是不是已经做了？对对，拉到这里来，这个卷起来。对。咱们这个变化是为了让
没事，都一样啊。你们可以在原地，好了，可以了啊。
好，你先开始做，这个线上我来了。好了，你看做好。没那个颜色的来把这做好。现在要麻烦你看什么？麻将的。它其实太高了，现在不敢做这个。来，前排的挥手点赞啊！来，所有队友保持微笑，眼睛不要闭，准备。来，队友，看镜头，1、2。OK。
感谢各位的主礼嘉宾，感谢各位的鼎力支持。现在就有请我们的教授。
直播的镜头和对焦很慢，这个是固定的。
有请我们的教授上台，给我们分享他的主题。
Our forum now begins. Our keynote speaker is the expert of investment, trade, banking in the world stage. He's the founder and executive chairman of Grand Prix Holding, director of the Amsterdam Trade Board. His topic is new listing opportunities in cross-border capital markets. Again, please everyone stand up, because he came afar from Holland, Europe, and put your hands together for Professor Sango Kisuke.
Yes. 有请大家掌声欢迎我们的教授。
PPT 的吧？
Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure.
非常感谢，非常的荣幸。
Again, I'm very pleased to be here. It's a great opportunity to speak with you.
再次非常的感谢，非常的荣幸能够跟大家分享。
Today, I would like to share with you some remarks on the opportunities for European and Chinese companies to collaborate together for the new developments in finance, in private markets, and trade business.
今天很高兴的跟大家重点的分享中欧之间我们的关于市场的切入和我们一些金融的新的产品的技术。
Our expertise in business and in financial markets is in financial innovation and building market infrastructures.
我们的专长就是在金融创新，还有塑造好的经营跟市场的营商环境。
I would like to note a couple of developments in this area in financial innovation that leads to very significant new options for business development across borders in Europe and in China. And these new developments are within our scope, our domain of expertise that we have developed in order to create new financial and business opportunities for cross-border transactions.
我们中欧之间跨境的各种的金融的创新跟商业的服务，就是我们主要的服务的题目跟研发的领域。
There are 4 main areas where we are active, where we created new innovations, and these areas include opening new market access, developing new governance for ESG, environmental social governance standards and sustainability, banking innovation, and corporate governance innovations.
我们主要的创新领域跟研究领域就是4大方面：市场的切入，还有就是环保跟社会的管制，金融银行的创新，还有公司管制和何其数持续发展。
The first area concerns opening of new market access. China and Europe constitutes one of the most important trade exchanges in the world.
中国是现在世界上面最领先的全球交易量最大的国家之一。
Today, the amount of trade exchanges between Europe and China continues to increase, and it is not only growing in size, but also in depth. Today, the exchanges cover trade, supply chain, investments, technologies, new innovations, and research.
中欧之间贸易的快速的发展，不但是在体量上面，还是在各个领域里面的深层次的发展，包括贸易跟投资、供应链、商务、创新跟研究等等的领域。
This opens a whole new type of business options. In the last decades, of course, we saw a large growth in trade, but today, a significant portion of exchanges is non-trade related to technology, to innovations, and investments. Unfortunately, we don't have right now very efficient market infrastructure to support a full scope of trading between China and Europe.
中欧之间不单是在贸易上面、做生意上面的合作跟领域发展，同时也是现在在创新还有技术方面的发展也一路在推展。可惜的是，现在遗憾的是，中欧之间没有一个成熟的商业体系来承载中欧之间可以在商业跟技术方面的全面的发展。
For this reason, we are active in innovating trading markets, and one of our innovation concerns a standardized futures market for commodity trade exchange.
所以为了弥补这个缺陷，我们就是致力于再把交易方面的系统化，能够把它完善，特别是在期货上面各种的商品的交易、代工商品的交易的系统，我们可以把它完善。
What does it mean? It means that we can increase the scope and scale of the types of products that are traded directly. We don't have to use the traditional futures exchanges, perhaps based in the US or other places, but we can have a direct trading mechanism that can significantly lower the cost, increase the speed, increase the efficiency.
所以我们这个系统就是弥补以前的传统的，要在某一个特定的地方，比方说美国去进行交易。现在我们可以透过这个系统，以更有效、更低成本、更快的去完成相关的交易。
Therefore, many more Chinese companies can participate in trade, export their products to Europe directly, and for European traders, they get a much easier access to Chinese product financing and risk management.
所以透过这个系统，这可以更有效地促进中国的商品跟服务出口到欧洲，同样的把欧洲的商品跟服务引进到大陆，双向的发展，以更有效的、对更低的成本来完成。
The good news is that today we have well-developed physical infrastructure to support our futures trading that covers end-to-end trade flow from the manufacturing to the end user and end consumer.
所以透过我们慢慢的完善有关的各项的基建跟设备，我们可以提供更好的点对点的服务，从生产到消费者终端，整个的链条我们可以提供一个完善的服务。
Therefore, many more Chinese companies, including small and medium-sized growth-oriented companies, can enter European markets directly.
所以更方便的、更多的中国企业，特别是中小企业，能够直接的、更便利的打进欧洲市场。
Another area of innovation that is very important in Europe concerns environmental, social, and governance standards for trade and investments.
第二个创新的领域就是提供更好的环境、环保、社会、公司管制的意见跟提供服务给这些企业。
ESG investments grow exponentially and are the single largest growing asset class in all of finance worldwide.
环保、社会跟公司管制这一块领域的投资，是在整个金融产业里面成长最快、投资最多的一个范畴。
ESG funding grew more than double than all other types of funding combined.
环保、社会、公司管制的这一块板块的投资增长速度是以双倍计来计算，是整个所有其他领域加起来的总和的2倍。
And Europe is by far the largest market for ESG funding and investments.
而欧洲恰恰就是这个领域最大的份额的市场。
Our initiative in this space is a digital market infrastructure for ESG and impact investments, where we support a large number of sustainable and ESG investment themes and projects.
我们就是以市场的数码化的技术来促进环保、社会跟公司管制这个领域的投资，以确保在这些领域里面的，比方说农业、能源还有大气等等，能够做出持续性的发展跟投资回报。
Because China is also firmly committed to the sustainability, climate change, the opportunities in Europe is large. There is a high demand for sustainable-oriented products, investments, and business models.
因为我们中国也是非常的坚持在环保、社会、公司管制方面的效果跟投资，所以欧洲市场对于我们中国的这方面的产品跟服务是有非常强大的需求。
Another good news is that ESG and impact in Europe is profitable. The way how we can achieve this is by lowering the cost of funding for green companies, increasing access to finance for green companies, and at the same time, the regulation is supporting and creating benefits for green companies.
有一个好消息，就是环保、社会、公司管制这个领域是有利可图的。怎么可以做到呢？就是把这些绿色公司的融资成本要降低，同时开拓更多的金融机构的资源给这些绿色公司去动用发展，同时在政策、正规、法规方面能够更加的迎合配合这些绿色公司的发展。
The next area of innovation concerns banking transformation in Europe.
下一步这个领域就是绿色公司在欧洲的发展这个板块。
Europe has a bank-based economy. Most of the financing transactions happen through the banking system. It is very large and advanced banking economy, and this system is undergoing a major transformation.
欧洲是一个非常依赖银行为基础的经济体系，很多的商业业务都是依托银行来进行的，而现在欧洲的银行业也在进行一个很大的变革。
Until recently, each European market had its own regulation, own rules. And today, financial market is actually the last one that was eventually unified within the European Union. Therefore, it's a huge opportunity. Today, we have a unified regulation and compliance across the whole EU, which creates a huge financing and banking market.
欧洲各个的经济体都有他们独特的法规跟他们独特的规则，而金融体系就是这一块是可以统一联合所有欧洲的欧盟里面经济体的一个最好的一个大平台。
We are involved in innovating banking infrastructure, which allows for significant efficiencies. For instance, today, banks can operate more efficiently by a factor multiple of 10 or 20 times today.
银行的他们的革新改革就是透过新的产品、新的科技来把这些现有的传统的把它们提升，然后以10倍、20倍的速度跟效率来为企业服务。
This means that we can create banking services faster, cheaper, more economically, and targeting more attractive market segments.
也就是说，欧洲的金融服务可以更快、更有效、更低成本的提供特定的服务给特定需要的企业群。
I see a tremendous development in China when it comes to financial innovation. One of the big opportunities that I see is to bridge financial innovation that is developed here in China with the large, advanced and deep markets in Europe.
我看到中国在金融革新方面的巨大的成就跟进步，我也看到很大的把中国的金融革新跟欧洲的更深度的去结合融合，作为一个桥梁，去让两边一起共同的互补跟共同的发展。
We are seeing many smart, motivated, bright, innovative startups, fintechs, growth companies in China, many smart companies. We would love to see them do more business in Europe.
我们看到很多智能化的公司、数码化的公司，他们都有很多的绿色的智能的科技。我们很期待这些中国的智能公司能够来欧洲开拓市场。
And the final area of innovation that I would like to share with you concerns corporate governance.
最后一个领域，我希望跟大家分享，也许大家有兴趣的，就是公司管制这一块。
European regulators, business leaders, and policymakers are emphasizing the crucial role of good practices in corporate governance. That's why Europe is taking lead in creating a governance system based on trust, accountability, risk management, and best practices in business.
欧洲不管是在政策的制定者、政府的官员等等，都在大力的强调还要完善公司管制这一块领域，在重塑、在强化公司管制的可信任度、透明度、股东的交代、风险管理、内部账户的监控等等，都是有一个很完善的，还有强化的一个很大的发展。
International companies that do business in Europe and those that comply with the good governance practices can have high level of trust, can command high investment premium, can become very attractive for investments and funding. That's why Europe is taking a pretty strict approach towards the best practices in corporate governance.
一家能够遵循欧洲高水平的公司管制公司，将会得到市场的青睐、投资者的信任，还有关财务机构的投资，相对来说也会更大的额度。所以，欧洲在几个方面将会继续花更大的力气去提升公司管制这块领域。
So, because today we live in very difficult times, it is more important than ever to facilitate discussions, communications, and to exchange ideas on the practical opportunities that we have today in the market.
现在我们大家都知道，经历一个比较困难的时期，所以我们欧洲的市场更加需要去革新、去迎合，还有去带领，在这个困难的时期里面，可以更好的、更稳妥的等待这个疫情的过去之后更好的发展。
I would like to share with you a few points about how and why Europe is a very unique and leading world's market in private markets and private equity industry.
我很希望能够透过下面我的简述，把欧洲为什么会成为一个最强大、受欢迎的私募基金的市场，其中一个金融体系，跟大家分享跟分析。
Even though Europe consists of many small markets, each of these markets has a pretty advanced and deep financial system and economy. Therefore, Europe is not the largest for the public capital markets, but Europe is the largest for banking and private equity market.
虽然欧洲有很多小的经济体，但是他们每一个小的经济体都有很先进跟深化的金融体系作为他们的经济的基础。所以为什么欧洲它不是面对全世界大规模公众集资的一个市场，相反是一个非常的成熟的庞大的私人私募基金的还有银行体系的一个经济体。
Our base is in Amsterdam, Netherlands, and the Netherlands has a very long history of trade, entrepreneurship, merchant banking, and financial innovation.
我们的总部是在荷兰阿姆斯特丹。荷兰阿姆斯特丹是一个很悠久的金融的历史，出现了许多企业家、银行家、商人银行等等。
Netherlands is a leading innovator in finance, and even though there are some questions, arguably the Netherlands can claim that it has invented capital markets. So the first stock market in the world was created in Amsterdam.
荷兰可以说是资本市场经济的领航者，虽然说有些人可能对这个评论会有一点质疑，但是不可否非，荷兰是一个历史悠久的资本市场的创始国家，它能在2002年，也就是差不多500年前，已经在进行资本市场。
A large number of financial innovations followed. All of them are based on the principle of openness, open economy, and the ambition and willingness to trade and do business with other countries.
荷兰就是采取一种开放性的经济合作，拥抱全世界的资本来发展，所以才有今天荷兰这个金融的庞大的，还有它作为一个资本市场的领航者的地位。
This is what made the Dutch economy very rich, and not just the Dutch economy, but everybody else who was trading in Europe. The Netherlands is the gateway into the European market.
所以为什么荷兰这个国家会那么富裕？同时，它不但是它自己国家富裕，也让它跟它做生意的交易的国家跟经济体也富裕。所以说，荷兰是进入欧洲市场的一个最好的门户。
Europe is also the world's leading place for private banking, fund management, wealth services, family offices, and banking services.
欧洲同时也是私募基金、私人银行、基金发展、家族信托等等的一系列的金融产品还有金融服务的一个根据地。
A long history of banking and private markets allows us to use these resources today to open more access to European private markets.
由于有非常丰厚的私人银行、私募资金的，还有财富理财、个人理财的丰厚的资源跟经验，所以同时现在也可以开放给其他或者普及到其他 欧洲的国家。
Our listing venue, Amsterdam Trade Board, is a dedicating listing place to access private equity and private banking markets in Europe.
阿姆斯特丹上市集团，委员会，它就是一个提供给欧洲各个国家上市、融资，包括私募交易的一个最好的成熟的平台。
It is specifically created for private companies that are interested in working within the private markets, private equity space, that are growth-oriented, that have strategic development plans to expand, and that may be also involved in investment markets.
我们这个上市委员会主要就是提供服务给那些私人的、有大的发展潜力的、有优秀的发展空间的私人公司和私募基金支持的公司。
The principles of Amsterdam Trade Board are based on the best practices in corporate governance, transparency, accountability, trust, and all the components that constitute the best practice in private markets.
我们这个上市委员会特别注重的就是看这些潜在的公司，他们的透明度，他们的公司管制，还有他们的可持续发展的潜能。
Amsterdam Trade Board covers the network of the private investment market, corporate, strategic partners, venture capital, and the financial media and network of financial companies in Europe.
所以我们这个委员会同时也把创投基金、天使基金，还有各个的上市融资的公共管理关系等等这一系列的合作伙伴都能够把它整合起来，同样的共同的提供一个联合的服务给预备用我们这个上市委员会上市服务的公司。
The board, the listing venue, is not suitable for any company. In fact, we deliberately set the top-tier standards when it comes to corporate governance.
我们上市委员会不是每一家公司都适合的，我们特意的设定一个特别高标准的，就是要求高标准符合我们公司管制标准的公司。
However, companies that are listed on ATB can get the benefits from obtaining the good standing on their certification or following the good practices in strategy, business development, accounting, and therefore they have a direct way to interact and participate in business development and investment activities in Europe.
有一个好处，重要的好处，能够在我们上市委员会透过上市之后，他们会在公司的发展战略、公司的知名度、公众的认证度等等得到很高的盖章跟背书。这样子的话，他们的欧洲市场就可以更有效的、更好的跟各个金融机构还有政府打交道，让他们更好的扶持这个企业。
ATB network covers a very large parts of the economy, business network, core markets, in the sense that the trust is more important. Therefore, we rely so much on the issues surrounding governance.
我们这个委员会跟其他的不一样，就是我们是更加注重于私募这一块，而私募这一块恰恰是需要更强调的是信任，就是对个别公司还有公司管理层创办人的信任，也就是因为需要这个信任，我们更加的看重公司管制这一块。
We have created a streamlined process for the listing on Amsterdam Trade Board that facilitates a quick review, preparation, capacity building that leads towards the listing and post-listing activities.
我们大家看到图表，有一个很成熟的流程，来在我们提供服务给我们的公司，在上市前、上市中、上市后，整个的服务流程，来确保它顺利，同时能够上市之后的融资规模、私募基金规模能够扩大。
So these are some of the opportunities that we have on our hands. I would love to talk to you in more details about more opportunities in the Netherlands.
这些就是我今天能够分享的一些机遇，我很期待有机会我们一起，教授邀请大家到荷兰一起去分享，还要去旅游一下，大家说好不好？
Thank you. It is my wish that we can open doors to more and more Chinese companies to do very attractive, profitable business.
这个是我的心愿，希望我们能够吸引到更多的中国公司来到荷兰，来到欧洲，开拓更广阔的、更高回报的市场。谢谢教授。
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Tell them you have to leave and make some meeting.
Right. I would like to make one small announcement. Unfortunately, I have to run to another appointment. However, I would love to meet with you, open more discussions, talk to you more. Our colleagues have a method to schedule a meeting. I am here after going through the quarantine. I want to stay as long as possible here in China because it was a long time, but it was okay. I was waiting when the quarantine was 2 weeks. I was waiting to make it shorter, and then it became 3 weeks. So
教授因为他有一个很重要的，其实他就是要到大学去讲课，所以现在就得先离开。但是教授说他希望不要离开，大家说好不好？他希望 you all want to stay.
Oh, thank you.
As long as you want.
Thank you.
同时教授也希望下一次来的时候，希望不用隔离那么远，那么久。同时教授说很欢迎大家透过我们陈教授还有 Lego 还有本人约我们教授，他还有好一段时间还在大陆，还在深圳。约我们一起，个别的深入的就你们企业上市的这一块，跟我们教授在深入的交谈，好不好？好。
Thank you， 谢谢。
我们新深圳旅游公司在南山，所以到时候地址就在我们本子里面，所以欢迎大家，反正加微信也好，大家打电话也好，都可以联系得到。教授1个小时顾问费是20万美金的，所以你们省了很多钱。你们大家要好好珍惜，不要人家给我们分析了讲那么多，我们还是要感谢，也要重视人家的意见啊。
OK。
Thank you so much， 谢谢。
Okay, before Professor Beldo goes, I want to give him and everyone a great news, and I'm going to bring it to William.
现在我们在云计算在云端里面在同步全世界在收看我们今天的直播了，大家知道多少人吗？对，30万超过了，现在差不多33万了。教授，你 take one more。我们再来一张啊，大家站起来，我们再拍张啊，老哥啊，唔该，我们再来一张嘛，上去。
I'm going to announce it.
以后不知道什么时候来。
Okay, I'm going to announce it from Owen. 来自生态圈全球直播，我们已经达到324万775 324,775 people online watching us. Thank you, everyone. Please take a quick group photo with Professor Beldo before he leaves for his important appointment.
Is there anything you want to share? Just say a few words.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Ever since I came here, I find so much friendship, hospitality. I enjoy my time here in China. I have a great time. I enjoy the food, the people. I'm making lots of new friends. I really have an amazing time. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I need to work on my Chinese. It's something that I'm still missing, but I'll work on that. Thank you. Thanks.
教授说很享受，很感恩每一天在大陆，在我们一起受到很多友谊，收获很多友谊，很多的大家对他的很尊敬，希望他能够多和大家一起分享我们大陆的美景美食，谢谢。
Thank you, Professor Beldo. Thank you so much, and have a safe trip to the university. And William just told us that an hour consultation fee to have Professor Beldo is how much?
20,000 US per hour.
Wow.
$20,000 1个小时。
So it's the Professor Beldo consultant fee. So let's put a big hand together. You all have paid more than that.
所以我们听了1个小时啊，我们每个人都进了口袋2万美金了啊，所以大家今天是发了一个小财啊。好，现在就我们一起我们看看我们的视频，有请我们第2位演讲嘉宾，也就是透过视频，我们还有3个视频，今天也就可以完美的告一段落。就斯洛伐克共和国驻华大使 Mr. 杜森刁了，给我们分享的是科技创新领域在高增长欧洲市场的投资机会。
Now is our video recording the speaker from Slovakian Republic to China. He's the ambassador of the Slovakian Republic to China. Mr. Dusan Bella. His topic is technology and innovation investment opportunities in high-growth European market. Here's the video for all of you.
Area where enthusiasm is growing is climate. Distinguished leaders, dear ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me thank the organizers for the opportunity to address this forum, which has the ambition to strengthen the Sino-Euro supply chain, enhance green financing, promote the use of new technologies, and also support green and low-carbon development. China is an important player in the global fight against climate change, without which the world cannot win this fight. Therefore, President Xi Jinping's statement in September 2020 that China will strengthen its 2030 climate targets, peak emissions before 2030, and aim to achieve carbon neutrality before 2060 met with positive reactions in the world. The recent COP26 meeting in Glasgow set the pace for much swifter adaptation and radical emissions reductions. A very good example of this effort is a rare joint statement in which China and the United States have pledged to step up their efforts to close the significant gap that remains to achieve the 1.5 Celsius temperature target set out in the 2015 Paris Agreement. It is very important that the world's two biggest CO2 emitters agreed in the joint Sino-US declaration to boost climate cooperation over the next decade and agreed on steps across a range of issues, including methane emissions, the transition to clean energy, and decarbonization. COP26 summit called for ambitious solutions to tackle climate emergency. One area where enthusiasm is growing is climate finance. Known as Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero, a consortium of over 450 financial firms across 45 nations has committed to align their own businesses, but most importantly, their lending and investing with net zero goals. In principle, financial industry has a huge role to play. Shifting the economy from fossil fuels to clean sources of energy requires a vast reallocation of capital. To meet these expectations, annual investment in clean energy needs to triple by 2030 compared to current levels. However, the reality of green investing falls short of this ideal. There are still many problems, such as measuring the carbon footprint of the portfolio without double counting, incentives for private financial firms, or coverage of state-controlled companies which account for a large share of global emissions. My country, Slovakia, will reduce its emissions by 55% by 2030 and become climate neutral by 2050, along with the rest of the European Union. By 2023, coal will no longer be used to produce electricity and heat. In the coming years, we will spend almost 6% of our GDP on economic recovery. 1/3 of that will go into our green transition. None of this will be easy. Per capita, Slovakia is the biggest car producer in the world. Clean mobility, locally developed and produced greener batteries will decarbonize transport in Slovakia and elsewhere. We are ready to share our solutions and learn from the best. Phasing out coal mining and operation of related power plant in my country will bring significant reductions of CO2 emissions by 6.32% in 2025 and of 7.67% in 2030. But will affect also other sectors that are directly related to the mining activity in Slovakia. The Slovak Republic takes air quality, reducing green gas emissions, mitigating climate change, the security of supplies of all energy types and their affordability extremely seriously. In 2019, the Slovakia committed to achieving carbon neutrality by 2050. The Slovak Republic has one of the lowest emission energy sectors in the EU, thanks to the high share of nuclear sources in its electricity generation, about 55%, and the high share of natural gas in the heating sector. There is only space for decarbonizing the energy sector through the replacement of coal with low emission sources, respectively alternative fuel sources in energy efficiency measures and in the decarbonizing of transport. After the replacement of solid fossil fuels with renewable energy resources, the Slovak Republic will have one of the lowest emission energy sectors in the whole of the EU. In Slovakia, we have also integrated National Energy and Climate Plan for 2021 to 2030, which was mandated by the European Union to each of its member states. The aim of this national 10-year integrated document is to ensure that the European Union meets its overall greenhouse gas emissions targets. The Energy and Climate Plan addresses all 5 dimensions of the EU Energy Union: decarbonization, energy efficiency, energy security, internal energy markets and research, innovation and competitiveness. According to the National Energy and Climate Plan, Slovakia considers the use of decarbonized gases and hydrogen as a way to ensure environmental sustainability. In Slovakia, we consider hydrogen as a very promising fuel and a good option to replace natural gas on the one hand and fossil fuels in the transport sector on the other hand. Hydrogen energy offers potentially significant advantages in terms of low or zero emissions and flexibility in fuel sources. Hydrogen energy is indispensable for building a sustainable energy society. Over the long term, hydrogen energy is likely to be used in many everyday situations, and hydrogen energy technologies will replace many conventional technologies. As a very good example of public-private cooperation in research and development of hydrogen technology for transport, Slovakia exhibits in the National Pavilion at Expo in Dubai a hydrogen bus manufactured by the Slovak company Rošero in cooperation with the Technical University in Košice. The bus is unique in the use of low-pressure hydrogen storage in tanks made of mixture based on metal hydride alloys, and its control is adapted to urban traffic. Dear ladies and gentlemen, my country Slovakia is a modern, vibrant country with an advanced, innovative economy, admirable culture and rich history, as well as enchanting nature. Slovak economy is for more than a decade the fastest growing in the region. Slovakia's latest GDP growth prospects for this year are estimated at about 5%. And this number will climb to 5.5% in 2022, making it once again the fastest growing economy in Central and Eastern Europe. The major drivers of Slovak economic growth are exports and stable inflow of foreign direct investments and membership in the European Union and the Euro area. The innovation and technology have become a driving force of the economic growth in the 21st century and a significant change maker in fierce competition of this world. That's why I'm very glad to share with you that according to the assessment of the World Economic Forum, Slovakia is a leader in FDI and technology transfer in Central and Eastern Europe. Having this in mind, allow me to introduce my country, the Slovak Republic, not only as a global leader in the number of cars produced per capita, 202 units per 1,000 people in 2019, but also as a home to a number of startups and innovative companies that have become leaders in their respective fields. For instance, Slovak company Spinea is the only European manufacturer of high-precision reduction gearboxes for robots. And Slovak Aeromobile and Aircar, the first flying cars, aim to revolutionize transportation by the end of this decade. Slovak company C2I supplies premium carbon fiber composite materials for automotive and aerospace industries. Another Slovak company, Sajik, is a world leader in the field of offline GPS navigation applications, and company Asset, with its antivirus solution, is playing a pivotal role in the global cybersecurity. You probably haven't heard that Slovak capital Bratislava scored highly on the latest 2019 EU Regional Innovation Scoreboard as one of two top innovative regions in new EU member states. One of the few positive effects of this pandemic crisis was probably a change in human behavior, together with a great leap of humankind into digital era in a number of areas. Innovation and innovative solutions became integral part of our everyday life. It is often said that an example moves the world. Therefore, I am proud to introduce 3 companies from Slovakia which are leading by example and turn pandemic crisis into opportunity. The first. In early April 2020, Slovak company Multiplex DEX developed high-quality COVID-19 tests, which could diagnose the novel coronavirus easier in the earlier stages of the illness, and the tests can be adjusted promptly to new virus mutations. Multiplex DX is one of the most innovative biotech corporations created to bring revolutionary technologies to the market of personalized molecular diagnostics for cancer treatment. Second, the Slovak traditional producer of medical equipment company Hirana, which develops and produces an array of advanced critical care ventilation products to combat pneumonia, quadrupled last year its production of lung ventilators to supply Slovak hospitals and meet growing demands of its partners abroad. The third Slovak company, which also deserves to be mentioned, is Axon Neuroscience SE, an industry-leading clinical stage biotech company at the forefront of treating and preventing Alzheimer's disease with over 20 years experience in development of safe and immunogenic peptide vaccines. Its well-established scalable technology allowed the company to move quickly to create a promising novel peptide vaccine against COVID-19. On September 9, 2020, the company announced positive preclinical results for its vaccine candidate against new coronavirus SARS-CoV-2, and a few days later, it launched the world's first independently developed crowdfunded vaccine against COVID-19. On November 24, 2020, they announced the discovery of a new potential immunotherapeutic against COVID-19, and in June 2021, at New York's platform Biodigital, Axon presented the second-generation monoclonal antibody therapy, which demonstrated the high efficacy on new variants of SARS-CoV-2, including Brazilian, South African, and the UK variants. I wish this forum many inspiring ideas that will contribute to a successful transition to a green and digital economy in China, Europe, and around the world. Thank you for your attention. Distinguished leaders, dear ladies and gentlemen.
请大家现在欣赏第二段的视频分享，这是由 Mr. Alan Young 前香港政府咨询科技总监给我们奉献的题目：数字孪生，下一波智慧城市。
And before we have
Good afternoon. This is Alan Yang.
I know everyone is looking forward to hear from our Hong Kong expert, but before that we have high technology to show you. So we are going to have Grand Prix, our staff, our IT officer, Brett, to come up to speak to you.
现在有请我们格兰披治的同事跟大家分享一下这个明天的高科技。
大家好，我是格兰披治的同事。然后这个科技是格兰的教授从欧洲带过来的，然后它是一个3D 投影的一个虚拟现实增强的一个技术。比如说通过这个扫描这个二维码，用手机扫描这个二维码，你就可以随时随地，不管教授在不在中国，都可以看到教授的一个虚拟投影。这个是增强现实的技术。然后使用方法我讲一下，就是到时候有需要的一些企业家可以去那边拿一下教授的名片，然后把手机二维码对着这个上面那个二维码扫一下，扫完之后呢，一定要把这个二维码放在手上或者放在桌面上，然后让手机里面的那个二维码读取器放在这个上面，就会在这个卡片上面自动生成教授的影像。然后我们的那个团队将这个教授影像本来是一个英文的嘛，我们的团队把这个英文翻译成了中文，然后到时候大家可以随时随地就可以看到教授的笑容、内容还有他的技术。好，谢谢大家。
I'm going to briefly introduce. Okay, I'm going to briefly introduce. It's not a card. It's not a business card. It's not a name card. It's a 3D card. And if you already have enjoyed Professor Beldo's speech, you can actually follow what Greg said is you scan the QR card and you put it like this. And once you do that, you will see a 3D image of Professor Beldo and also a Chinese translated speech from him. And all the information that is for you to look into our company and what we can offer. Okay, so. Okay, now our
请我们的工作同事把名片派发给我们的贵宾，很多人还没拿是吧？还没拿的举一举手，我们工作人员马上，每一张是独特的，它不是每一张都一样的，每一张的二维码都是属于你本人，跟我们今天教授的一个单线的联系的，很独特，很为你而设的。
Each name card is unique. They are not the same. So when you get your card, you have a special code and identity to be connected to Professor Bello and Grand Prix and also our ATP alliances. So please put up your hand if you have not got one on the floor. And don't worry, we have enough for all of you as a special gift from our company.
我们可以现在欣赏我们的来自香港政府资讯科技总监的分享。数字孪生
Founder and CEO of ITC. Today, I'm very pleased to have the chance to share with you my thoughts on the next wave of smart city. I call it as Smart City 3.0, the digital twin city. Allow me to first give a very brief introduction about ITC. The company was founded in late 2018 after I left the government as GCIO. It was co-founded with Herbert Chair, the VP of Alibaba, and Anthony Rivas, former deputy mayor of Barcelona, Spain. We also have two advisors from the company, Stephen Goldsmith, former vice mayor of New York City, Tu Ping, former director of Smart City Research Center. Our company focuses on smart city consultancy and also providing smart solutions for the overall development of smart city. Smart city has been around for quite a long while. I would say in the early stage, the Smart City 1.0 focused on development of infrastructure, particularly the telecommunication part of it. In the second stage of smart city development, it focused on data-driven and also building up of city brain. Looking forward, Smart City 3.0 would be the digital twin era. Many research institutes, including the Chinese Academy of Information and Communications, have published quite a lot of white paper along digital twin city. It has been mentioned to be not only a technological solution, but also a new path of transformation and new driving force behind city development for all walks of life. In fact, in our national 14th five-year plan and 2035 vision, the construction of digital twin city was built into the planning. That means cities within mainland would be growingly focusing on digital twin as a development focus. Again, the idea is not just on hardware, but also giving a lot of thought of how to build a soft infrastructure along digital twin city. In a nutshell, digital twin means a complete replica of physical world, and that will give a lot more insight in terms of how to predict it using big data for the future city. Looking at the global environment in terms of low carbon strategy and commitment, cities worldwide have pledged in the Paris Agreement to reach global peaking of greenhouse gas emissions as soon as to achieve carbon neutral by mid-century. And China pledged to reach carbon emission maximum by 2030 and also carbon neutrality by 2060. For Hong Kong, 66% of carbon emissions are actually generated by electricity, and building consume 90% of it. So it's very important as part of the smart city blueprint that smart building, BEAM adoption, and green solutions are part of the blueprint. When we talk about digital twin city, we have to have a brand new digital base, or we call CTOS, which would comprise as in terms of planning, in terms of building, in terms of managing and servicing a city. And I will talk about each one individually. First, the planning. When we talk about the land, we have to think of how to digitize the land and give a map that is 3D and also integrated with BEAM and SEAM. And that will give rise to the foundation of building up a digital twin cities for the rest of the follow-on city management. In terms of building, it actually would allow for adding on to the planning stage, where you will see building, bridges, roads, and all the city infrastructure all come together with such digital twin replica. In that, if we look at one basic element, which is the building, and when you digitize a building, you can see how it interacts with the rest of the environment, interact with people, interact with traffic, interact with vehicles, and interact with our environment. And the building can gradually expand with coverage of a district and then a city at the end. So when we come back to the basic platform, a building, it is going to increase using digital twin to increase the value for property owners. And it is a balance of how to improve energy efficiency versus user experience. When we talk about energy saving, it is not about shutting down the electric or even increase the temperature to a very uncomfortable level. It is a ongoing control of the right comfort while user experience is improved. At the same time, we are dealing with environmental savings and also growing the green economy. There are 8 very fundamental areas when we talk about building operations, and that involve energy management, carbon footprint, asset management, building management, smart and safety, rapid prevention of automation with preventive maintenance, and building information modeling, integration, and seamless IoT management. All these 8 aspects are very integral part to making sure a building is well managed under digital twin concept. So when we look at the center of this view graph, you can see a 3D representation of a building, where you can pick each different system within a building and look at its healthiness and its status while it collects a lot of information. The information collected have 2 different types. One is real-time information, another is a historical. The real-time information allows instant response to emergencies, to incidents like water leakage, like fire, like emergency button press. Regarding the historical data, it allows a prediction for what will be the next in terms of building behavior, in terms of equipment life, in terms of the maintenance. So when we combine the 2 types of information, we can give a holistic view of how to manage a building at this moment and also for the downstream future. Take for example, when you look at the beam, you can have a very live and vivid representation, even a 3D modeling. But this is just a machine. When it adds the information of how the machine is performing, is running, is it running with the right efficiency, is running with the right speed, running with the right efficiency, it will give a lot of information about the healthiness of such equipment. And that will give a lot more insight in terms of how you can predict the future of such equipment. And that is part of the importance of you are using the beam not just for display, not just for the beauty view of it, but really using it to the actual daily operation of the facility management. And this is a 3D view of a building. And in this building, you can press any button to look at the entire building, any system, or any part of the system. For example, the fire extinguishers. All the fire extinguishers within the building put in the right space, in the right spot, compliant with the fire regulations. Fire extinguishers and also sprinklers or water pumps or all the different cooling systems are all displayed very systematically, and you can control and manage each one and view. Looking at the entire building, it is not just physical representation, but also the people's movement within the building. How people use the building give a complete picture of how a building in terms of carbon consumption. When you are dealing with a carbon footprint of a building, you would be able to calculate entire carbon profile, whether a building is neutral in carbon footprint. And if not, then in the future, there is a carbon exchange, carbon trade that you may have to purchase. So this gives extra incentive for a lot of building owners to add this intelligence to control energy expenditure. When we look at a city in terms of managing, there are new areas that we have to look into. Particularly, we are going to see a new satellite data which is near real time, as contrast to once a week data refresh. We may be seeing satellite data that is available in 5 minutes duration. And that will give rise to a lot more city development monitoring, especially reaction to a lot of monitoring and city management in terms of land and resources, environmental protection, ocean monitoring, forestry, water conservation, and so on. As an example, when we look at an intelligent operations center for an entire city, we can track people movement. The mobility will give rise to a lot of insight whether a city is equipped with the right resources. Another example is smart tourism, whether the tourists are actually enjoying what they are doing in terms of their behavior. So the people mobility will give a lot of statistics for a city planner to monitor whether the city is allocating the right resources for schools, for traffic network, for apartment and housing, for elderly care, and so on. And this is a new trend of city management where the entire government can look at different verticals, such as tourism, with the right behavior of distribution of services, and allow comparison of city to city to give the right index. So in the future, a KPI become possible given such KPI indexes are readily available by real life data. In short, and in summary, digital twin will become a rising trend for smart city globally, and we are keen to see that such development will bring a better life for everyone in the future. And IGC will also be a very active part in making this possible. I thank you for your attention and listening.
第4个视频分享是万维数码集团企业财务总监。
Good afternoon. This is Alan Yang.
分享题目是区块链领域的公共关系和社区建设。
Our next speaker is Gerald Ang, the Group Corporate Finance Director of Marvel Digital Group. His topic is public relations and community building in the blockchain space.
还有最后一个分享，我们今天的大会就顺利的完成。请大家再坚持5分钟。
As everyone might be aware, blockchain has been one of the hottest topics around this year. And I believe most of you have read or heard something about blockchain. Therefore, I will not be delving into the specifics of what blockchain is. However, what most people fail to realize is that blockchain is a community more than a technology. One might ask, what is blockchain a community? The nature of blockchain alone being decentralized cannot be operated by a single person. Just like a community, blockchain requires for a group of individuals to come together to run and operate. Also like a community, blockchain is built based on trust. Trust that the people in the network want to do the right thing, just like in a community. Furthermore, blockchain blockchain enables parties to interact directly with each other. There is no need for permission, thus creating a transparent and hierarchy-free community. Therefore, unlike other industries, blockchain wasn't created in its cyber environment. Blockchain was built, expanded, and democratized by its communities from its very beginnings. In the blockchain space, product validation is inherently social. Opinions from the community will mean the difference between success and failure of the project. Even fundraising activities is an entirely social affair. A successful launch of a token offering is made only possible by the community effort. That is why community building is vital for the success of any blockchain project. According to a CNBC survey done on demographics of the blockchain community in August this year, it was found that 66% of the people within the blockchain community are aged 45 years and below. These are the groups of people that grew up either with the rise of the internet or already of its existence. Therefore, they are very familiar with social media platforms and online communication. Because of such a target audience, a lot of the community building activities in the blockchain space tend to happen online and in social media platforms. There is an array of social media platforms with a range of many different functions. This can be confusing as to which platforms is best used for building and communicating with the blockchain community. Here are three of the most common social media platforms that blockchain projects use for their community building effort. Telegram is the most widely used platform by blockchain projects for building their community. It is great for engaging a community as it helps to keep communications open while also able to curb undesirable interactions. Telegram allows for groups more than 200,000 members each to be created. Furthermore, blockchain projects can also create channels, which, unlike groups, can be used for broadcasting public messages to the community. These channels allow for an unlimited number of subscribers, making it the perfect tool to publish news, announcements, and project milestones without the clutter of debates, feedbacks, and off-topic discussions. Telegram's cross-platform capabilities enable a project's team member and moderator to pick up where they left off. Messages in Telegram can also be pinned to highlight announcements, events, updates, and other significant activities of the project. This allows for new community members to find the basic information of the project in these pinned messages. Telegram also has advanced moderation tools that allow for moderators to manage the community with granular precision, allowing them to choose specific permissions and restrictions for easy moderation. That is why Telegram is one of the top choices as a platform for community building. Having a Telegram group provides legitimacy to the project. It creates a perspective that the team is transparent and open to questions, suggestions, and criticisms. Some within the blockchain community even go as far as to question the legitimacy of a project that does not have a Telegram. Hence, the importance of having a Telegram group within a community in the blockchain space. Twitter is another social media platform that is equally important for community building. It is one of the biggest social media platforms that is being utilized in promoting the mass adoption of blockchain-related initiatives. The blockchain community uses Twitter as the first stop for any official releases and updates on projects in the blockchain space. Because of its large number of users, Twitter helps to drive traffic between different blockchain communities. This could easily result in virality, which is one of Twitter's unique features that makes it an effective tool for community building. Twitter is also integrated with other social media platforms. Announcements on Twitter can be cross-posted on platforms like Facebook, Discord, Telegram, and many others, instantly making it a very useful platform to spread announcements quickly. Twitter, being a public website, allows for almost anyone to view what a specific person or an organization has posted since they joined the site. As Twitter is where most of the influential people in the blockchain space can be found, this gives blockchain projects much needed exposure. One way blockchain projects can kickstart its community building efforts on Twitter is to follow blockchain influencers within the target group that have a high number of followers and who is highly engaged. It is important to build such connections that will encourage meaningful communication. Using hashtags is also another effective method in building connections. However, it should not be overdone because it will appear messy. The last platform is Facebook. I believe this would need no introduction. Facebook, being the largest social media platform with its billions of users, gives blockchain projects an instant high rate of exposure to its wide range of users, especially the non-blockchain community. It is the best platform for blockchain projects to reach a general audience. One can use Facebook to promote traffic to other channels of the project. For example, projects can increase user traffic to the project's website by adding a website link onto the Facebook page. Furthermore, projects can repost interesting content from the website onto the Facebook page to allow users to read the full post on the website. Despite its low targeted audience, Facebook is still a good social media platform to leverage on to educate the non-blockchain community. Helping to educate the non-blockchain community is essential. It allows for new community members to understand what the project is about and what it's trying to achieve. The blockchain space contains full of jargon, acronyms, and technical concepts that can be daunting to many newcomers. For this reason, blockchain projects that can provide newcomers with a comprehensive library of educational materials would have a higher chance of attracting and retaining these newcomers, thereby building a community. However, this should not be reserved only for the newcomers. Materials should also be prepared for members of the blockchain community themselves. Such materials for the blockchain community would be more in-depth, surrounding the actual project as opposed to more generic materials for the newcomers. Therefore, helping to educate the community helps to create stickiness within the community. Besides using social media, influencer outreach is also important to reach a greater audience when building community. A great example is Tesla. Tesla doesn't spend a single dollar on advertising. Yet, how is demand for their car so high that it can't possibly keep up? One way that they do is via the use of influencers. And one great example is the partnership between MKBHD and Tesla. MKBHD, also known as Marquis Brownlee, is a well-known tech YouTuber with close to 15 million followers to his channel. 3 years ago, he started releasing videos showcasing his love and excitement for Tesla vehicles. When Tesla found out, it send him marketing materials and subsidize his content. This partnership led to a massive number of subscribers to follow Tesla. In his latest video in June 2025 on Tesla's Model S, there were close to 9.5 million views for this single video. This shows the kind of reach that influencers can bring to community building. While Tesla is an established company, value partner now be, this strategy still remains ever effective for any new blockchain project. These influencers already have their own community built, which blockchain projects can tap into so that projects don't have to build from scratch. As you can see, there are many ways to build a community. It's really up to the team to decide which is best suited for the team for the project. Thank you. Hi everyone. Thank you for having me here today.
好了，感谢各位今天一直大花的早上到现在，我们金融论坛今天已经把所有的分享、演讲都成功了，感谢大家的光临跟支持。有一个好消息，大家知道现在在线的在看我们今天大会的论坛的全世界的有多少位吗？
估下 ，guess
数字，妹很高的思想，他猜是50万没有过，差不多40万了，38万多。所以趁着这里，我们进行到最后，请大家一起上台，还有我们陈教授一起来个大合照，好不好？来，全部啊，还有我们的工作人员李怡姐姐，还有分派我们那些很漂亮的牌，我们可以分2排，来，请大家一起来，所有在座的，所有在座的各位，全都该。
Last but not least, okay, we are about to end the whole forum. I would like to report.
女士们可以站前面啊，女士们可以站前面，男士站后面啊，待会放座位没事，这里保安很安全。
The OWOIM
ecology 姐姐们站前面啊，帅哥们站后面。
Has attracted 357,812. And also, we really thank you for the 直播組 the OWOIM 全球直播小樓組、中華電信、微信、Facebook、斗魚、華為、騰訊、中貼、數碼中心、數碼上海衛視、數碼電視網、亞馬遜同埋阿里雲，非常多謝大家。
總導演係啦，安排下，教你們企好啲。係啦，嗰啲牌唔好擋住個面，牌唔好擋住個面。陳教授，你翻我哋中間正中間，係啦，後面高嗰啲帥哥啊，唔好擋住自己個面。好。而家可以行前啲啦，阿妹啊，行前啲啦，影啦，可以行前啲影啦，企喺凳上面都得噶，啊，穩陣得噶，啊，好，太多字啦，好，大家笑口開心啲，手指公，啊，前面的拍好，麻煩讓一下啊，給你一個時間，好，站前一點，盡量靠，朝裡靠，先讓這兩個看到，朝裡靠，不要站太邊。对，提醒一点。对，感谢。来，大拇指，2個讚，队友啊，队友，都開心。前面的美女，你的頭都見了。